That is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back from the dead. We're back from the living, or whatever you want to say. When we're dead, we come back alive because you can't wake up dead. I am the BrettMan. This is Destiny. So, Destiny, how are you doing today?
Um, Same as always, tired, but here.
Tired? Well, you've had a pretty exciting couple of weeks, though. So I do not blame you for being tired. So, but you know what? I'm glad you're here because we were supposed to do this last Sunday, but somebody wanted to have more fun than hang out with me. No, I told her to go and have fun, and I know absolutely she did. But you know what? I'm glad you're here, and I know everybody in the chat is glad that you're here as well, doing good. So let's say hello to everybody, and we'll just get the show on the road. First off, we got Atanas. What's going on? Just joined our third tier of the YouTube membership. So, Atanas, thank you so much. And I'll get all your stuff updated. And thank you for officially becoming a little idiot on our channel. Then we got Brendan the Beldam. What's going on? We got Lamantra. We got Chester. We got Mega Cat. Let's see here. Who else we got here? We got Mark Jones. Already got Ashton, but he's here. But it's Jamie's birthday today, so happy birthday, Jamie. We got Aaron Click. We got Brooke. Let's see here. Who else we got here? Just want to make sure I don't want to miss anybody. And of course, we got Gavin here. What's going on there, Gavin? I know he's excited. He's here for one particular movie. I know you and him had a little interaction on the Instagram post. So don't worry. That might be one of the first couple of movies we talked about here today. So, with that in mind, before we even get more going, two in house orders of business. The first one being, next month's October. So you know what that means for Back from the Dead. It's our biggest episode of the entire year. It's our October special of Back from the Dead. Many movies to talk about. So it's so much. We decided to spoil you guys that we're going to do it same day, like a Sunday, but we're going to do this on October the 29th at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And me and Des will be like cosplaying for something, so you need to stay tuned to see what we're cosplaying as. But we also wanted to do something special for you all as well. That's why we're going to have like a drawing for a $25 Amazon gift card. And we did decide before we did the live or started live here that we're gonna post a post on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and all you will do is list your favorite Halloween memory of yours. If you just do that, you instantly get put into a drawing for a $25 Amazon gift card. It's fast and it's easy, and that contest will be available starting October the 1st. Woo, that's a lot to get out there. Evan, of course, the last thing too is if you want to do super chats, I did promise you all from the last episode I get some super chat videos ready. So if you want to do some super chats, again, it's totally optional. But we got two videos locked in the chamber. So if you want to see what those are, send a little super chat, and you might get some laughs. Let's see here. And we got Chad. What's going on? OMG, a midget in the right. Oh my god, Chad. Leave her alone, damn it. Let's see here. Oh, you're going to be in Boston that day, but don't worry, man. You can still enter the contest and you can watch the replay because there's a lot to talk about. So, with that in mind, let's go ahead and dive into everything. If you're new from Back from the Dead, what Back from the Dead is, we're going to be celebrating horror movie anniversaries just because we want to celebrate the movies from the past and the current as well. Just because without any of them, we wouldn't have the horror movies we have today. But we can't talk about all of them just because I do have a 2 hour limit for Destiny because anytime I go over 2 hours, it's like $10 extra. And I don't have that kind of money right now. So we're going to do the best we can to get through everything within a 2 hour time frame. So we decided to do things in the integral of 5. So this entire year, we're tackling movies that end in 3 and 8, while also we're going to tackle the movies from last year as well. So without further ado, we're going to start very late here in 1958 with the original Blob, released on September the 10th of 1958. And we did talk about the remake from the previous month. So this time we got the original we just wanted to bring out here. So I could not remember this. So you say you have not seen this, correct?
Yeah, I have not.
You have not, okay. And I haven't seen it either, so pretty much nothing for us like to kind of mention, but we wanted to let you all know that it's on Max and Tubi if you want to watch the original. Desi, did you have anything else? Actually, that's all I got all the way up to the 80s. So do you have anything below the 80s?
I had one movie from 1978,
All right, and what do you have for us?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Ooh, okay.
I've not seen this movie, but I've listened to a podcast episode about it, and it just sounds very silly. And I believe in Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I think that's what they're watching whenever she's showing a movie, not at the beginning, but to the crowd of like the town kids. I think that's what they're watching is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It looks like it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw that movie or like at the poster of it, I'm like, I'm probably more than likely going to skip it, just because. But you know, eventually I will catch up to it. Okay,
Okay.
I
That was
see.
kind of good. I'll give you
Okay,
that.
that's my only one. Hey, would you rather me do that one or the Wake Me Up Until September Ends? I was planning on doing later, or
Okay.
neither. Okay, okay. So that's all the puns done for the rest of this episode. But other than that one, did you have anything else?
Nope, that was it.
Awesome. So we're going to go ahead and mosey along here into the 80s here. And the first one, and Gavin, hopefully you're still here because this is the movie you showed up for. And that is from 1983. This is Pieces. So Pieces was released on September 23rd of 1988. And if you're curious about this, this is on Peacock, Shudder, and Tubi. So you bastards better watch this freaking movie. So, Desi, what are your thoughts about Pieces?
I mean, it's a fun time, I'll say, but a lot of it just doesn't make sense. And it's only in the movie just because, like, people could do things on set. And so they just, like, added it in, even if it doesn't fully make sense. And then, like, the reveal of the killer, I feel like is a little bit underwhelming. But then the very end of the movie is just like, wait, what the fuck? And it's a surprise. I don't want to say what it is in case people haven't seen, but it's a surprise, almost Universal monster esque type movie, which is pretty cool. Every time I think about that, I remember I wrote a paper in school, and I wish I would have known about these movies because I could have wrote about them because of what they are or like what they end up being. But it gives us some iconic moments, whether it's for good or bad scenes, and yeah, it's just a fun time. And it's like it's almost like a Jallo movie in a way, but it's not exactly, but it's very much
Mm-hmm.
inspired by that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's a good time. It's just it's trashy, sleazy 80s slasher, and if you like that, then I'm sure you'll like this. I do
Mm-hmm.
like that stuff. So
Awesome. And what did she think about the you bastard?
oh my gosh, she's freaking, what do they call it, like clipping the mic whenever it's like going too high
Yeah,
and you're
oh my
like making the
god.
sound. Oh god, she keeps doing it. But again, this movie, like without that scene, it might be talked about a little bit less. But there's just so many like what the fuck moments of the movie. It's like Sleepaway Camp in a way, to where like it's not that great at face value, but the way it's acted and so over the top and so like overacted in certain scenes and great practical effects. The gore is awesome. So you have
Mm-hmm.
all these like moments that really make it stand out and really make it like shine above some of the other slashers since they were so popular. But it's because they're so just like what the fuck, they stand out. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's in there. We needed that scene.
Oh yeah, we definitely did, because that's pretty much, it's actually the best explanatory of the entire movie and the feel of the movie. Is this bastard of a movie? I don't know. I should turn it off, but I can't help but to continue watching it. And there is one kill. I'm not going to explain what that kill is because I want you all to watch it. I know Destiny knows that particular kill, but it's just a beauty. One of my actual favorite kills of the '80s. I just thought it was an amazing kill scene. So let's see here. Before we continue, Hatchet Boys, P Rig, what's going on? And where I saw my darling. Where's my darling here? Darling, where's my darling? Let's see. There's my darling, Rosie, my dear. Two girls and a coffee in a cup of coffee. You behave yourself. But Rosie, I was prepared for you today. I know I've been slacking with the whole rose situation, so I officially got you a rose this time. So Rosie, my dear, here is your rose.
That's good.
Yeah, it's the best beautiful rose that I personally grew myself. I photography. I just did everything for it. So that's why it took so long. I was growing this rose.
For sure, yeah.
Destiny does not fucking believe me, but you know what? I appreciate your optimism. No, I'm kidding. I do not have a green thumb whatsoever. So Rosie, welcome, and we're glad you're here. And we got 2 super chats, and we got to get to play those 2 super chat clips. So Brandon the Belt, the $2 super chat, thank you so much. Saying, let's see them videos, buddy. Well, you get to see the first one, and we're gonna play We're gonna play this one right here.
Investors. Where do we find investors?
Right there.
Oh, hello, Belchers. Just having one of our money fights.
So, Brandon, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And Chad, hopefully you're nice here with his $2 super chat saying, I better laugh. Well, guess what? That's why I say for this second one, definitely it's going to make you laugh. If not, I'll give you your $2 back.
Well, shit, he might have some money. We already committed murder. We might as well rob his ass.
I'll take the credit cards.
I want the jewelry.
I'm gonna take his drawers.
So, Chad, there you go, my friend. And thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And God, 16 people here in the chat. You all are going crazy in this comic session. And so we very much appreciate you spending your time with us today. So let's see here. I think we are okay. Yes, sir, Chad. Yes, sir. So, Destiny, that is what I have for 83. So, did you have anything else for 83?
Nope, that's all I had to.
Awesome. And then, Sebastian, good morning to you. How are you doing, my friend? So, let's see. I think that is everybody. I think we're all caught up. Wait, Brett, did you say 88 Pieces was released in 83? No, here, let me get back to the card real quick. If I did say 88, I meant to say 83. So if I said that, my apologies. But no, this definitely came out in 83. But because this golden gem came out in 88, and I'm pretty much the only way I got to know this particular horror icon is through my co-host here of Destiny here. So Destiny, I know you're super excited. So pretty much I'm going to let you dominate this movie because there's not much I can say except for it's a good movie. And that is Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, released on September the 30th of 88. So this upcoming Saturday, I know what Destiny's going to be watching. So pretty decent numbers here, but man, she's such an icon. And this is on Prime and Tubi. If y'all want to give this a watch of Destiny, take it away. What's your love of Elvira all about? And what are your thoughts about this movie?
Well, so like I didn't watch this movie growing up. I didn't see it until like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But the first time I watched it, and I always knew who Elvira was. Like I knew like her place in the genre, but I'd never just watched anything with her really. And so when I found out that she herself had 2 movies, because I knew she hosted movies, but she has 2 movies, and so I was like, oh, no way. And so it was on Shudder whenever I watched it. And immediately I fell in love because like I love the humor. I love how it's like she's very like sex positive and she's very witty and her comebacks are super like quick and they're like so sharp and stuff. And I love that about her. And I love just the whole character of Elvira. And like since that movie, it's made me like dive more into Cassandra Peterson and more about her life. And like I got her book and I read the book and it's insane. her life has been absolutely crazy. I watched Elvira's Haunted Hills, which is the second movie. Then I started watching movies she's hosted. Like, she immediately became like one of my favorite. Just like, in Bride of Chucky, whenever they're talking about Martha Stewart, and then it's
Fuck
like, who's
Martha
Martha
Stewart.
Stewart? And then you have Tiffany, and she's just like my idol. That's how I feel about Elvira.
Oh.
I love her so much. And I was this close to meeting Cassandra Peterson
I
because she was
know.
in Arizona at Mad Monster, and we went Friday, and she's only there Saturday and Sunday.
I
And I was just
know.
like,
And I messaged you about that. I say, please tell me you're there Friday or Saturday, and you're like, no, just Friday. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck.
I was so close. I really hope I get the chance to meet her because I want to meet her so badly. And even now, like, with her photo op, she does have the plexiglass, which is like a little bit like unfortunate, but still, I'll take that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just to be the same picture as her, and I would love to be able to like get something signed by her. I want to meet her so badly. And the fact that at least I was in the same state, probably at the same time she was, I was like, and she's gonna be right here. And like I saw her table set up, so I was like, she's gonna be sitting here tomorrow. That's crazy. But yeah, I love her, and I love this movie. This quickly became one of my favorite movies. Like, it's in my either top 5 or at least definitely my top 10. It's in
Definitely
my
top 10 from what I remember.
Yeah, and it's in my favorites on Letterboxd. It's one of my 4 movies. I haven't changed those since I've started Letterboxd, but it is. And I did get Brayden to watch this because he had never seen it, and he enjoyed it a lot. I was like, yeah, she's freaking amazing. I know. Everyone,
Hell yeah. And also, you got that beautiful steelbook right behind you too, of
I do.
Mistress of the Dark.
Yeah, I have the steelbook here, and then this is the Blu-ray for Haunted Hills, which I will say I don't think Haunted Hills is as good as Mistress of the Dark, but it's also a different style of like movie. It's very much like the freaking Castle films, and like like the to be fair, he did offer for us to go, and I was like, no, like I don't want it to like take away from what we're already doing to do this. So,
But there are certain people that are more important than plans.
yeah. So it's okay. I'll hopefully get my chance. But
hey, hopefully spooky next year. Spooky next year.
That'd be perfect because I think when she comes to Texas, it's usually at Dallas, like Texas Frightmare. So maybe that. But if she's at Spooky, that would be perfect. I would freak out.
And last question: would you cosplay as Elvira when you meet her?
Probably not. I would probably do something Elvira-esque, but like her hair is so specific, and there's no wig that will actually do it justice. Like that has to be like custom made because her hair looks amazing when she's as like dressed up as Elvira. So even like Darcy from like The Last Drive-In, she's talked about the same thing. Like it's so hard to find a good Elvira wig because none of them get like that roundness and the height right, and so probably not. But I would probably wear like a black dress to kind of give off the same vibe.
Oh yeah, but I know that you're gonna nail it, and hopefully someday in the future you absolutely do get to meet her. And Aaron Click says, "Fun, not actually fact. Cassandra dated Tom Jones, and she said he was so big down there he almost." Oh, okay. Dadgum, this went south real quickly this morning. He almost ripped her open. Maybe he did. I can't remember exactly. That's an interesting story that I was not expecting this morning or this afternoon.
I mean, she shared a lot of stuff from her book. She got high with Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock, and I was just like, that's crazy.
Badass.
That's so awesome. What?
Yeah,
like
so
all the stuff before she even became Elvira is insane. Because she had like already lived like so many different lives, and then she became Elvira, and that just completely different set of like everything. It's so crazy.
Yeah, and I agree, Brandon. Definitely Lee needs to rewatch it.
I say that at least one time on his live streams. Like, watch Elvira Just the Dark. keep
You
telling
just
you.
need
Come
to. You just need to do it every single time. Like, hey, everybody! Oh, by the way, watch Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. I'll keep saying
we
this.
keep freaking championing him. He should do it in October. It's the perfect time. It's one of my October watches. I make sure to watch this, and now Elvira's Haunted Hills every October.
Hey, now you got September the 30th. It's the day before October, so you can actually watch it on her anniversary day on Saturday. So you can get you a head start on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see here. And Megan said, I had an Elvira poster in my room as a kid. Woke up every morning to those big jugs. Yep, she definitely had them too. So,
Oh, I don't have a poster, but I did just order an Elvira calendar for next
you
year.
did? Nice.
Yeah, I did order that. I don't know where it is, but it has, different posts or pictures of her for every month, and it's pretty cool because the December one is obviously like Christmas themed, and I
Of
love
course.
that whole like photo shoot she did for Christmas. So I'm very excited because I'm going to be keeping all the pictures after the year's over.
Absolutely. And
No way
so
I'm
you
throwing
can
that
include
away.
with the ever one you got too on your wall too.
Yeah, because I have that sits on my little shelf for now until I get it.
Gotcha. So, but no, that's awesome. But like, I was wondering if you got that calendar, but you know what? Not even surprised. So,
No, literally, I was brushing my teeth and I saw it and I was like, where's my credit card? And then literally was typing it in and ordering it within minutes. I'm very easy to sell. I was not looking to spend more money at, like midnight, but I was like, I need it.
yeah,
And then I came home and it was literally
need
here. I was like, perfect.
That's awesome. So no, that all that is so awesome. I'm glad that Elvira just really just influenced you as a horror movie fan. So did you have any? And I'm not able to top any of that, so I'm not even going to try. So do you have anything else you want to say about Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, or just the goddess herself?
Love it. Love her. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. And it's like a movie that you can watch a few times because again, like the jokes are so quick that like a lot of them are like understated, and like even when I rewatch it now, I'll find like something new and I'm like, oh, I didn't ever notice that. And it's how I like describe like Bob's Burgers humor too, to where a lot of the jokes are understated, and so you'll like miss some of them until you go back and you're like, oh, I never realized like what they were talking about. And it's the same thing. So yeah, I just love the movie. Watch it if you haven't, and if you have, watch it again.
Yeah, and just watch it forever. And again, guys, just a quick reminder: it's going to be a good anniversary size on this upcoming Saturday. So watch it on Saturday. Do it for Elvira. So did you have anything else from '88?
No, that was it.
Awesome. And Evil Alex, what's going on, my friends? I only saw the first film. I want to think you were meeting Elvira. So hell yeah, that's awesome. So let us go on to the 90s here. And Destiny, this is the one I have you watch because if there's a movie we have not seen, we make sure the everyone watches it as part of like the monthly episodes. So the one I had Destiny watch for this month is The Good Son. Oh, God. I just can't even like. I only see him as Home Alone, so it's kind of weird to see him just in anything else at that age. So this is The Good Son, September 24th of 93. A little harder to find streaming wise, even though actually I made this card a while back. I know it's on Hulu now. Is that correct?
Yes.
Awesome. So this is on Hulu now, so you can watch it if you're very interested in it. But Destiny, what are your thoughts about The Good Son?
I did enjoy it. It's definitely it's like a 90s thriller, which I do enjoy 90s thrillers. So I was excited to watch this because it's been on my watch list for a while, but like you said, it was never streaming anywhere. But as soon as I saw they added to Hulu, I was like, oh, I have to definitely make sure I watch this before it leaves. And then it was the movie that Brett had me watch, so it worked out perfectly, really.
Perfectly.
So I watched it this morning before the stream, obviously. And I enjoyed it. It's just like, it's the run-of-the-mill sort of like, one's bad, he's going to make the other one look like he's the bad one, and he's trying to get away with it. Like, it's very much just that. So it's not anything I would say like groundbreaking, but maybe at the time it was more, but now so many of these type of movies like exist, so you kind of know it's
Mhm.
going to play out. But even for that, some parts are still a little bit shocking. There's moments I was like, oh god, and like it is suspenseful. There's parts where my heart was like racing a little bit. So it's very good. You have a freaking Macaulay brother, or is that how you say it? Macaulay? Yeah.
Yeah,
Macaulay brother.
like
And
trust
then
me, a
you
lot
have,
better than what I was going to do. So,
yeah, and then you have Elijah Wood in it as well.
oh,
So
nice.
you have a great like young cast to see them because they both are so like great as actors, especially child actors. So they play off of each other super well. Some of it's like upsetting, some of it's like shocking, and it's suspenseful. So I do like the movie. I definitely recommend it to watch on Hulu while it's on there because who knows how long it'll be there.
Exactly, and I'm glad you. Oh my god,
There's too many of them.
yeah, I know. It plus
Macaulay,
like
Macaulay,
yeah, the
Macaulay Culkin, Macaulay
those.
Culkin. Personally, my favorite brother, I know no one asked, it is Rory.
Well, I think we all like know you by now. It's definitely Roy.
Yeah,
But
it's 100% Rory. You know,
oh, it's even been brought up too. Like Roy is one of the bros. He was in Scream 4 and
yes,
whatever movie, because I know you're getting ready to mention it.
Lords of Chaos.
Hmm.
As a movie, it's good. As a real life story, this is a movie. Don't even say you're watching it because at least like 14 or 15 people are going to sit there and say, well, actually, it's not true to life on the real story. I'm like, I get it. I do get it. But I'm watching it as a movie. Okay. And the real life shit, I mean, even the movie is pretty hard to watch, but the real life shit is obviously terrible. Anyways,
Yeah.
the real life stuff is obviously very terrible, and I'm not downplaying that. But watching this as a movie for someone who was not aware of any of this before I like started to look it up, because it does say like based off of true events, but not really. So they're already telling you at the beginning that this isn't necessarily a real story, and so I like paused it and then I looked it up because I wanted to know, and then so like watching it, it's definitely not the same. I knew Destiny would. Oh my god, the long hair. It's like box dyed. His roots are so grown out. It's pretty funny because his like natural hair is like brown, so he has like brown chunks and then black. He looks like me when my roots grow out, except mine's blonde. So I was like, wow, he's just like me, honestly. But as a movie, it's good.
Hell yeah! That's awesome. And I'm glad you really enjoyed it. Because I know Fauci would enjoy it. What's going on, Fauci? How are you doing? And want to address this real quick, just because I want to do something that's never been done before. Vincent, what's going on? Welcome to Good Real Hunting. Why do you cuss? Do I fucking cuss? Everyone in the chat, I want you to do me a favor. Bring out your best cuss word and put it in the chat. We want to let Vincent know that we do cuss on this channel. If you love it, great. If not, then I'm not sure what else we can do for you.
Do you
But
know that?
Vincent,
Do you know that
welcome.
one video of Miranda Cosgrove, and she's like, "I do cuss a little." They're
Oh
like,
no.
"What's your favorite cuss word?" And she goes, "Probably fuck," and then she starts laughing about it. That's how I feel right now. I do cuss a little.
I do cuss a little.
Um, it's
But
funny.
oh, awesome. So yeah, guys, if you would do that for me, that would be see there, I'll mention it. There we go, Rosie. I knew Rosie wouldn't let me down on that. So awesome. So Vincent, welcome to Good Real Hunting. Stay if you like. If not, it's all good in the neighborhood. So let's see here. Yo, Adrian, how you doing? I just saw you joined us. So let's see here. All right. I think we are good there. Oh, the other thing I have from '93. This is a show, and I'm not sure how much you've seen of it. I haven't really seen it, but at least I respect the show for what it has done. That's the X Files. Was released. Pretty much the whole concept. The show started on September the 10th of '93, and the entire season is on Hulu right now. So, Destiny, do you have any recollection of like being interested in the X Files? Because I do remember you're a fan of criminal or women. There was oh man. Well, first off, that's X Files, but wasn't there like a movie or a show or something with Criminal Minds that was supposed to be an X Files episode? I'm trying to remember. I
I
want
do
I
not
want to say
know.
it's like a movie is technically supposed to be an X-Files episode, but they made it into a movie. I can't remember. I know we've talked about something like that before, but it's been a while.
I don't know, honestly.
Shit. Well, anyways, what do you think? Any thoughts about the X-Files?
I haven't watched it, or I might have seen some episodes like growing up without really knowing what it is, but I haven't watched it. But I would like to watch it at some point. I'm currently trying to watch Twin Peaks. I don't know why I started a show before I left, because I haven't watched it because I didn't have any time for it. So I do need to get back into Twin Peaks, and that's like a lot that I have to get through. So I need to watch Twin Peaks before I dive into another show. But eventually I want to, because I do see a lot of people talk about it on Twitter. Like I see a lot of people talk about it, Twin Peaks, and I see a lot of people talk about X-Files, and people like have certain days for where they'll host like watch parties for whatever show it is. So I see like a lot of tweets about it. I just haven't actually watched it myself. But I would like to.
What about that theme song?
I've heard, yeah, I've heard the theme song quite a bit, especially like on Spotify for like Halloween playlist. That's always included. Ooh. So eventually I'll watch it because like it's a 90s show, and like this type of show it is. It's right up my alley. Growing up, I feel like I missed a lot of these type of shows, really. Even like Goosebumps. Like a lot of the 90s shows I completely missed.
Well, in defense, you were like -5 at this time. So like I don't blame you for missing a lot of the 90s stuff. So
yeah.
But let's see here. Oh, Aaron says Twin Peaks is his favorite TV show ever.
Ever. Well, so far I'm only on the second episode of the first season. I'm like halfway through the second episode. But the first episode was really good. Because it has like the actor in it. I mainly hold on before I think it's this guy.
No, it's okay. I was going to address Evil Alex's comment real quick, saying X-Files has one of the best horror episodes of any TV show. Now you have me interested. You need to write down that episode in the chat so I can watch it.
Definitely. Okay, so it is him. So one of the dads from Twin Peaks is the dad that's in Jeepers Creepers 2. And he's also, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
Yeah, he's also in Swamp Thing, Wes Craven's Swamp Thing with Adrian Barbeau. So he plays the Swamp Thing. So he's a great actor too. So he's in it. So I definitely am excited to, get through Twin Peaks. And maybe next year, my sort of fall time show can be X-Files.
It could be X-Files, and we'll top that off with Buffy the Vampire Slayer when you promised that 2 years ago.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Nah,
I still need to watch that. You're right. Damn it.
But guess what? I haven't started it either. So like I'm not any better. So
well, it was on Hulu and like Amazon. Now it's not streaming anywhere. I'm like,
well,
that's probably a series I'd probably buy it used because I'm sure I'm gonna love it. So.
Yeah, plus Sarah Michelle Gellar, how can you not love it?
Exactly.
So, and Ben Graham, just to finish up the X-Files talk, Wrong Turn episode of X-Files is the best. Like, again, I'm telling you, I know you mentioned it, I know we can't think of it right now, but you mentioned one time you said that it was supposed to be like an X-Files episode, but it got turned into a movie or something. Because it was like sort of true or something like that. I don't know what movie, but now it's fucking killing me. Damn it, Vincent. He's making me cuss a lot more than I normally do. And let's see here. Yeah, we got a lot of people loving the X-Files in the chat right now. But while you're looking that up, did you have anything else from 93?
I have Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway, which I have not seen. Oh, was it? Okay, so was it Final Destination?
Yeah, that was it.
It is that. See, I freaking knew as soon as someone said the movie, I would remember it. It was Final Destination. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I knew it was.
And you know what? That's so funny because I was Googling it, and guess what? And I just haven't even looked at my phone because I started talking to you. It is, Final Destination. Duh.
God, thank you, Alex, so much for that. Because literally, that was freaking killing. That was going to kill me. So, And was that it? Like everything else you found in '93, or did you have
Yeah.
something else?
Witchboard 2, haven't seen it. I've seen the first Witchboard a couple of times, and I do very much enjoy the first Witchboard, so I thought I would just mention it. But yeah, have not seen it.
Awesome. And then Brandon, I saw your comment. Hey guys, if I miss a super chat, don't ever apologize or feel like you're pushy or being like, let's like, oh, he forgot my super chat. I'm gonna get him. No, please let me know. You guys have been so active, so I occasionally do miss one. So thank you, Brandon, for catching me on that. $2 super chat saying Christmas Elvira over Christmas Mariah Carey. Absolutely, and I bet you Elvira's a better singer too. So with that in mind, since it's
She
Elvira,
can sing.
Oh, can she?
Yeah, she like because Cassandra Peterson, she used to sing, and she was like a kind of like a showgirl, like a burlesque.
You
type,
know what? That makes
like
all the
go-go
sense in the
girl.
world.
That's what she was doing before she was like a little bit more like grown and stuff.
And then she did it in Mistress of the Dark too. Yeah, like I'm telling you, all that just freaking
exactly.
makes sense
The
now.
whole ending scene was like her real life type thing because that's what she wanted to do. So, but she has like, if you go on Spotify, because I was making a new Halloween playlist, or I was like separating fall and Halloween because I feel like they are different playlist, and so I was making like an actual just like Halloween, like it's only for Halloween type music, and I added a few of her like Halloween songs. She has like a little album for like Halloween music. So
God, I need to find that immediately.
yep. And then at the end, she is singing in the movie too. So
oh yeah, that's
talented
right.
woman.
Okay, see, I need to rewatch Mistress of the Dark. It's been a while for me, so that's going to be my Saturday morning movie before college football starts. So, but yeah, Brandon, thank you, super chat again. Elvira is Destiny's hero, so we're going to play her super chat.
Investors. Where do we find investors?
Right there.
Oh, hello, Belchers. Just having one of our money fights.
For some reason, that gets funnier for me every time.
Having one of our money fights.
What are money fights? Like, get away from me. Oh, investor. I don't get it. They're the investors. Oh. That's so great.
She's like, oh, no, I don't.
Yeah,
She's just so behind. She's like, no.
No, I don't get it. And then Bob does his classic, oh my God.
Oh, my God.
So, all right. Let's go ahead and move along from 93 to 98. And Desi, we're going to start off with a banger for you because banger for you to Scooby-Doo. Ha, I rhymed right there. Nah, I'm kidding. I won't rhyme anymore. But we do have Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island, released on September 22nd of 1998. Unfortunately, this is not streaming anywhere from what I can find, but you can rent it as cheap as $2.49 on Amazon Prime. You can do that right now. And the other movie we had too, Urban Legend came out on September 25th of 1998. This was during the time where Scream supposedly ruined the horror genre because it kept releasing these type of movies like this. I say they're personally wrong, but as same thing with Scooby-Doo. This is a little bit hard to find, but this is stream or not stream it, but you can rent this for $4 right now on Amazon, YouTube, and Apple TV. So I'll start with Scooby-Doo first because I remember watching this as a kid. I was in my like pajamas. That's when freaking Cartoon Network was doing their like movie nights back in the day, and they on their movie night when I saw this trailer hit. It's like Scooby-Doo's first animated movie. Scooby-Doo on Zombie. I was like, dude, I'm so there. Like, I canceled all my plans and everything. And I watched this on its original air date on TV. And I absolutely love this movie. Definitely one of my favorite animated movies of all time. Just the mood and atmosphere is great. The songs in this movie are absolutely spectacular, especially Terror Time. I can always jam to some Terror Time. I need to put that on my Spotify list too. But Scooby-Doo is absolutely terrific. Zombie Island, not the return to Zombie Island. We don't mention that movie ever again, but we will always talk about Zombie Island. So Destiny, you're a big Scooby-Doo fan. What do you think about Zombie Island?
I do love this movie. The animation's fantastic. It's actually kind of like creepy and like a little bit scary for like a kid movie, like when they're turning into the sort of like cat people, and even the
Yeah.
zombies themselves, like when they're turning into the zombies and there's like that whole aging effect.
Mhm.
Like all that's really scary, and I always wanted a sandwich from this movie with
Oh
those
my god,
peppers.
yes.
I want them so badly. And like the scene with like when they're like picking off the like paint and stuff and it's like going back and there's a whole ghost whenever they're rewatching like the VHS. Like that part's scary too. And I think maybe some of the stuff with the Confederate soldiers might be a little bit weird. I don't like they didn't have to be that because it's just like wait what, and also like we're
Yeah.
watching a kids movie, so it could have probably been a little bit different because like watching it now I'm just like huh, interesting. But besides that I think everything else is really great.
Mhm.
It's like surprising, there's like actually good twist in the movie and I was just like dang, and I just remember like the crocodile, I remember the old guy, I remember the younger mean
Mojo.
guy. Yep. So I love this movie. I don't own it. I do need to like buy this one. Out of like the Scooby Doo movies, my favorite is um, Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. I absolutely
Mhm.
just love that one. But this is my second favorite, and it's like a close second. I just like the fall vibes of Witch's Ghost, and I like the setting of like the town. But when it comes to like scare factor, this one is definitely like scarier.
Yeah, and don't worry because Destiny, the Witch's Ghost will be talked about next year because its anniversary, big anniversary, is next year. So we'll definitely get into some Witch's Ghosts here, not too far. And y- let's see here, they mixed the fog with cat people. Yeah, in a way they kind of did that, didn't
Yeah.
they? Wait, Crocs? That's funny. With Scooby Crocs. And that dog, where?
Where?
God, I just love Scooby Doo. Again, great animated feature. If for some reason, if you've not seen it, what are you doing? I'll even give you permission to quit watching this to go watch Scooby. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Do it afterwards. And then Cody Snyder, what's going on, man? How are you doing? It's been a while. I know you've been traveling all over the world right now. So, Cody, hopefully you are doing great. And Hatchet Boys, because we're going to transition to Urban Legend now, saying Urban Legend has a good cast, just another I Know What You Did Last Summer or Scream film. And you know what? That's intentionally done that way because, again, what Scream did was kind of opened that door for all these other films like I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend to all do their own thing. But Urban Legend, I think out of those three movies, in my opinion, is the weakest. But I do love the concept of Urban Legend, using the urban legend just to kind of like do your murders in a way. But just to me, the third act kind of failed me a little bit. So, Desi, what about you? Are you a fan of Urban Legend? And what do you think compared to the other two? Or I'm sorry,
Um,
for I Know What You Did Last Summer and Scream.
I'm with you. Out of the three, it's my least favorite, and I've only seen it once, also. So like, I do need to give it another watch because I've only seen it that once, and that was in like 2021, I believe.
Yeah, I've
So
seen it once as well, so I'm
yeah,
right there
and I
with you.
watched it on my on VHS, which was pretty cool with my projector. So that was a
Nice.
fun watch. But the final girl, I think, is so weak compared to both Julie James and, of course, Sydney Prescott. Duh.
Hmm.
But in comparison to those two, like, she's just so flat. And, like, when she's the final girl and, like, you're supposed to be rooting for her and everything, and, like, it feels like she's giving us nothing, I just don't care. But it does have some great kills, obviously, with, like, the urban legend stories. And funny enough, I grew up watching Urban Legends Bloody Mary without even knowing it was a third movie of like a trilogy. I had no idea it was a part
Hmm.
of that because it's completely different than the first two movies. So that's the one I had seen first, and then I had to watch the first one, which was in 2021. But I watched the Bloody Mary one since I was probably like 8 years old.
Hmm.
Um, so like watching it now, just in comparison to the other two, I just don't think it holds up. But you do have Daniel Harris in it for a little bit, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Love her. She could have been a better final girl. But then the killer reveal, just in case people haven't seen it, I think that part saves the third act for me because it's so over the top to where I'm like, finally, now we have something to like root for, you know, like, and it's not who you should be rooting for, but I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I like her a lot, but the cast is stacked. There's so many people in this cast. You get Brad Dourif again just for a little bit, but the whole opening scene is iconic. I know a lot of people think of this movie when Total Eclipse of the Heart plays. For me, it's Pray at Night, of course, but
Absolutely.
it's great seeing it in this movie too because I've seen Pray at Night first. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Like, I didn't know they used this song in some like other horror movies, but the opening I think is great. The cast, besides really the final girl, I think is great. Jared Leto, weird choice, honestly, and he doesn't even
Do
claim like
anything.
he's in this movie, but Jared Leto is fucking weird, so I don't really care about that. He's just weird. But again, Daniel Harris, you get Robert Englund in it. That's awesome. And so yeah, like the whole cast I think is pretty stacked. So it has like that definitely like that 90s touch because there's so many well-known people. Tara Reid, she's in it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, great cast. And I don't think it's a bad movie. I think in comparison to the other two, it like is a little bit
Just a
weak.
whole nother level.
But that's because I grew up with Scream, and I know you did last summer. So like I'm gonna be biased towards those no matter what, because those are the movies I grew up with. But I still think it's a fun time. I definitely do for a rewatch, and it will be a movie I watch like at least probably once a year, once every couple of years, because it's still a fun time, and it's 90s. I love 90s movies.
Yeah, it definitely is a fun time, but just like kind of like you said, it just doesn't compare to the other two for me personally. But again, like you, I had a late start with Urban Legend. Yeah, again, it's not a bad movie. I just felt like they could have just executed in some areas better, especially with the cast they had at the time. So it's a little disappointing. But again, with the whole like learning about the particular urban legends and how they entied that with some of the kills, that's what saved the movie for me. But I'm with you. Fo. Like the third act, again, not the biggest fan of the third act, but the person, like the revealer, I like it. So that's all I will say on that. Just in case if y'all have not seen Urban Legends. So yeah, if you have not seen it, I guess that's the question. Do you think it's worth a $4 rent?
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I would probably say yes at this point, especially around spooky season. I say it's worth it.
Yeah, I would say so because it does have great, again, has great kills. The third act with the killer reveal is pretty great. The side characters are like fun, so I would say it's still worth it.
Awesome. And again, I agree. And yeah, more two other movies that kind of Scream opened the door for is Valentine and Cherry Falls. So yeah. And he's saying both those movies over an Urban Legend. Ooh, that's an
See,
interesting choice.
I think I would agree with Valentine. I don't know about Cherry Falls though, which that's
I still
again,
need to see that one.
I've only seen it that one time. No, I saw it twice. I did watch it twice actually because I watched it once on my own, the second time for Fear Freaks to take notes.
And that's
over
the
it,
only Fear Freaks episode I've ever missed, just because I didn't want to get spoiled for that movie.
Yeah, because this is like a who done it sort of movie.
Right.
And you have Brittany Murphy and Cherry Falls, which I still did enjoy the movie. There's just like really weird undertones in that movie. That's just like, what are y'all going like? What are y'all trying to hint at here? I don't know. So some parts of that movie is like a little bit weird, like ancestral weird. I don't know, but the concept of Cherry Falls is amazing.
That's the only thing
Killing
that got me
virgins.
interested in the movie.
That's so good because it's always the virgins live, and this time it's different. The virgins are the one that's dying, and so everyone's trying to get laid. So like that is great, but I actually really enjoy Valentine. I watched it again for Fear Freaks, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but then I watched it again last year for Valentine's Day on my own. It's kind of like weird. But
I guess just to save her daughter. That's what I'm
No, it's
assuming.
just
I've never
like-
seen the movie, but what?
just like watching it, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? But even Cherry Falls is surprising, but Valentine, I think, is better because I like the characters a lot more in Valentine. Like they're all like bitchy, but like I like them. And you have Denise Richards.
Yeah, love her.
Yeah.
I was trying to think here. Oh yeah, with Cherry Falls. Man, how would I would have loved to be a part of that movie during that time, just to save people.
You're
Just to
dumb.
save people. I know. Just damn it. But anyways, that is all I have from '88. 88. So, did you have anything else from '88
98?
or '98? Yeah, apologies, not '98.
No, that was it.
No. All right, so let's go dive into the 2000s here. And I got two movies from 2003. The first one being Eli Roth's Cabin Fever, released on September the 12th of 2003. This is a $4 rent right now, which I'll go ahead and say for myself that this is definitely a $4 rent, just because it does have entertainment value into this and really great practical effect work. And of course, Underworld from 2003 for September the 19th. And this was streaming at one point, but unfortunately, it's now on rent for $3.59. So if you're a fan of horror and action movies, this movie is definitely the movie for you. So, Desi, what are your thoughts about either of these movies?
Well, I haven't seen Underworld, so I don't really have anything to say about those.
Which I'll dive into that one if you want to dive into Cabin Fever.
Okay. There's like a group of movies, and I consider like Underworld, sort of like Blade, Silent Hill, what's the Resident Evil. There's like those kind of like group of movies that I just like. I don't want to say I have no interest in, but I really don't. Even like The Matrix, like those movies, like I just don't. I don't know. I just don't.
Hate to break it to you. Eventually, you're going to get drawn into the Matrix. I'm just letting you know that. Just because, yeah, who you know, they're going to get you to watch at least the first Matrix. You can skip the others. Just watch the first one.
Yeah, well, I'll look forward to that. But, oh my God, what was the other movie? Oh, it was Cabin Fever. Sorry.
Yeah, Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever. I did grow up with that one. That movie, like, I will not drink like tap water. And it's because of this movie. And even though, like, yeah, I brush my teeth. And sure, yeah, I drink, like, tea that's made of water. But it's boiled. So there's a difference. But, like, I will not get a glass of water from the sink. You got me fucked up. And it's because of this movie. Because it messed me up so badly. But it's so gory. The practical effects are great. Not a lot of it holds up. It is very much of its time. Like, when you're watching, you're like, this is definitely 2003. It is 100%. 2003.
Like the
so
definition.
A lot of it doesn't hold up. And I feel like a lot of Eli Roth, his humor just doesn't hold up like at all. But the effects are great. And because I remember the main guy, because I watched a little bit of Boy Meets World growing up, but I wasn't like super into it, but just like casually when it was on TV, or if someone in my family was watching it, I would watch it. So I always knew, like, oh my God, that's a guy from like Boy Meets World. And so I knew he was in it. And again, that's kind of what a weird connection with this. Or like, okay, so Pieces. We have like a karate scene that comes out of nowhere. And it's only because a guy on set could do karate. And it's the same shit for this, for Cabin Fever. That little kid could do that stuff. And so Eli Roth is like, have him do it. And he likes Pieces. I wonder if he was just like, this is my Pieces moment.
Oh my God.
Because it kind of is. Because you just have something fucking random that has nothing to do with anything. Besides the boy does end up biting the guy that's infected. But whatever. Just the whole pancakes. Like, it's so weird. The bunny costume at the end.
What's up with that? Just that whole entire ending. I've never laughed so hard.
It's just like, what the fuck is going on? I also remember Serena when she's like shaving her legs. That's something that also freaks me out, was shaving my legs.
Yes, is that your biggest fear ever?
One of them, yeah. And there's like the episode of A Thousand Ways to Die where she's shaving her legs with a rusty razor, and so she gets tetanus and her skin's like falling off. And so it also made me think of this movie. So I like triple check my razors before I use them because I'm so paranoid about that, and I'm so scared to cut my leg. And it's also because of Cabin Fever. So even though, like, I don't think the movie holds up that well, some parts of it are really great, though. But you have, you know, some stuff that definitely does not hold up well. But it's a lasting movie for me. Like, it's affected the way I think now. And, you know, so it definitely stuck with me. It definitely will always live on in my brain. I won't
Mhm.
I won't even drink fucking tap water. Like, it's never leaving me.
Yeah, well, I'll go ahead and say this. My source of water in my house is from my refrigerator. So I'm on the opposite end. If water tastes like water to me, I'm like, for me, it's like if something's in my water, I'm fucked either way. So like, what's the difference? YOLO, you only live once. But no, with the whole razor thing, that was one of the gnarliest practical effects I've ever seen in horror movie history, in my opinion. It makes me cringe every single time.
Hmm.
And then see here. Oh wait, there we go. Pieces is one of Eli's favorite movies, kind of like you've stated already.
Yeah. So maybe like when he found that out, he was like, "Oh my god, you better get ready because this is my pieces moment." Like it's just like a crazy sort of like, what are the odds? What are the
Exact.
odds? Put it in the
Like it's
movie. Who
like
cares?
golden opportunity, and I'm gonna fucking seize it.
Exactly.
So, and Sebastian, I saw it from earlier. Said, do you guys like underworld movies better, or the old Resident Evil ones with Mila? To answer that question, I've not seen the Resident Evil movies, so I don't know what is better. But if I'm going to be a betting man, I'm going to say I'm going to think Underworld is better because I did actually like the first three movies. I have not seen the other two movies that Underworld came out with. I just seen the first three that kind of like in a way its own little trilogy. And I really did enjoy those, but I do like action movies and combine that with horror with vampires and lichens, aka werewolves. It's a fun time. It's dumb fun. That's the best way I can describe it. Plus, Kate, I believe her last name is Bensek. Am I pronouncing that right?
Beckinsale?
Beckinsale, that's it. See, close. Beckinsale. No, that's a joke I always tell people when I mispronounce things. But no, Kate, absolutely love the look of her, and she was such a presented as a badass in those movies. So I loved her performances. But other than that, I've only seen the franchise once, and I'm not in a rush to go back to it. So, but if you like action movies, you like vampires and werewolves, I would say the first three movies are for you. And then you all will have to tell me if it's worth seeing the other two movies. So, those are pretty much just my thoughts about Underworld. If you had anything else you wanted to add to it, because I know you haven't seen it.
Maybe eventually. Because
Yeah.
I've seen Vacancy and I like Kate Beckinsale in that one a lot.
Mhm.
So it'd be cool to see her in like her movies because she was really good at Vacancy.
Yeah, and I will say she is really good in Underworld. That's the main girl. So, like, if you're going to watch it, you watch it for her. It's
Mhm.
she's in the first two because she's not in the third one because the third one it's like a prequel movie in
Oh,
a way.
okay.
So it's really the first two movies you need to watch with her.
Maybe.
So
Maybe at
yeah,
some
maybe
point.
just yeah, take your time. That's the best word. Like take your time with it. So did you have anything else from 2003?
No, I did not.
Excellent. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to 2008, and I did see a movie in 2008, but I did see a popular TV show at its time in 2008. Let me remove the comment real quick. It's True Blood. Started on September the 7th of 2008. And if you're curious, this is on Hulu and Max. Unfortunately, I have not seen any episodes. I just know the main blonde girl that's in the white dress leaning on that guy. I just know who she is. Other than that, I know nothing else about this show. What about you, Destiny?
Nope, I've never seen it.
Well, but at least we just wanted to mention it for any True Blood fans in the chat. So if they want to celebrate it, they absolutely can. So that's a quick one we went through for 2008. Did you find a movie in 2008?
In 2008, I have two movies, and one of them is Martyrs, the French version, so the original,
Oh, okay.
which I have seen, and it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be because it's like a French like extremist film, and it's like one of like the top ones when people talk about it. And I didn't think it was like as bad. It was still pretty rough. Like it's still very gory, and like I don't like body mutilation horror. And that's exactly like what this is. It's just like it's so graphic, and I don't like the skin, and you see a lot of skin and stuff like that. And it's very like it's an upsetting movie, like with sort of like the themes and everything like that. But it's a good movie. if you can stomach it, I definitely suggest it. And I'm very like squeamish when it comes to things, and I watched it and I didn't even look away. Like I was like, it's rough, but it's not as bad as like as I was expecting, because I think everyone like super like hyped it up, you know. So like watching it, I was like, oh, okay, this was like a lot more stomachable than I thought it was gonna be. But I definitely recommend it if you haven't seen it. I have heard the American remake is awful, which that really doesn't surprise me. So
Right.
about that one, it does have a girl for one of the actresses from Pretty Little Liars in it in the remake, which is pretty interesting because I watched Pretty Little Liars growing up. But the original version, it's very good. It's upsetting. It's so shocking. The first like 5 or so minutes is just like, oh my god, you're like immediately thrown into chaos, and it's insane, but very good. So recommend that one. And then the next one is something completely different from Martyrs, and it's R.L. Stein's Mostly Ghostly. So it's an R.L. Stein, you know, sort of type like kiddish type movie, but I did watch this growing up because there's a lot of R.L. Stein stuff that I missed out on, like Goosebumps. Again, I didn't watch a whole lot of Goosebumps growing up, and I didn't really read the books that much either, only a couple. But I do remember watching this movie as a kid. So maybe if you want some like nostalgic sort of, you know, kid vibes, watch Mostly Ghostly. I haven't seen it probably since 2008.
Awesome. And good finds right there too, especially with Martyrs, because I did definitely have that one on my list, and I did hear the American version was awful. And there's another movie we'll talk about later that a movie kind of did the same thing and come out with its American version, and nobody wanted anything to do with it. But we'll mention that movie later on. Before we continue, seeing people in the chat saying True Blood is for women. And Evil Alex says Destiny would love True Blood. So apparently that's going to have to be a show you'll add on to the ever-ending list of shows.
Maybe. Again, there's so many shows that I have not watched, like True Blood, Vampire Diaries, Gilmore Girls. That's not like horror whatsoever, but everyone talks about Gilmore Girls. Never seen it. I do want to try to watch that next year during September because it is like a fall time show. Like everyone watches it during the fall, but it's also like a long show. So
so many seasons.
Yeah, but so there's so many shows that I love Twilight.
Yeah, see, I do remember why True Blood was such a big deal, because it was during the whole Twilight phase.
I do love Twilight, so maybe I will. If I ever watch it, though, it's way down the line of TV series. I have so many series to watch, so. But maybe
or AKA she'll just go back to that 70s show and Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
I know you. So let's see here. All right, let's go to 2013. I have one documentary and two movies here, and two pretty good sized movies here. So let's go ahead and dive into them. The first documentary is Crystal Lake Memories: The Complete History of Friday the 13th. Last time I did check, it was on Shudder, but I couldn't find it anywhere, so I could be wrong. But some of the websites said it is on Shudder. So a little hard to track down at the moment, but if you do find it, highly recommend it. And I'll say why here in a little bit. But obviously this came out on September 13th, Friday 13th. And then the other two movies we have is Insidious Chapter 2 was released also on Friday the 13th of September of 2013. This is available on Max right now. I know we've already passed the Insidious craze, but just in case if you want a good October watch, this is a good one to do. And then the other movie is Curse of Chucky. Welcome back to the Child's Play franchise during this time. Was released on September 24th of 2013. Couldn't find it streaming anywhere, so as $4, this is available to rent. But for Camp Crystal Lake Memories, just want to say, definitely one of my all-time favorite documentaries about a certain franchise. Because the first one for me, it'll always be the greatest documentary. It's going to be Rob Zombie's Halloween on YouTube, the 4-hour documentary. Because I feel like all movies should be documentary, kind of like that style, because so much detail, so much information, and so many cool behind the scenes. But the next best thing is Crystal Lake Memories, because I've learned so much from behind the scenes within that franchise, and it's my favorite of the big three, as you can kind of tell already. Love Jason Voorhees, love the whole lore, the whole kills and everything, and just the whole story about this franchise is perfectly explained with this documentary of Crystal Lake Memories. So, Destiny, what are your memories of Crystal Lake Memories?
I've only watched the documentary one time. It is quite long, and so it took me a couple of days to watch it. But I would like watch a little bit at work. I would watch it when I go home. So it only took like maybe 2 days in total. But I absolutely loved it. It again because they go through every movie, and I like the way that it's structured out because you're moving through every movie, but they take so much time, and so many people came back, and they're telling you all the little stories about how it came to be, and then while they were on set and all that kind of stuff. And it's definitely like it's kind of how like for I would just put on the In Search of Darkness documentaries because I love those documentaries. And I would just put them on when I didn't feel like watching a movie. I don't really want to watch YouTube, but I want to watch something while I'm just like on my phone, and I'll put on one of those.
Uh-oh. Hold on a minute. Test 1 2, test 1 2. I believe we just lost Destiny here. Chat, let me know if we lost Destiny.
Can you see me now?
Oh wait. Oh, I hear you now.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Okay, perfect.
I don't know why it does that. Like our Wi-Fi will cut out for like a second, and then.
Oh no, it's okay. I just wanted to make sure if it was me because I saw my internet was acting a little wonky a little bit, but I think we're golden now. So
yeah, it's a great documentary. I would like to like own it. That way I can just like again watch it just like whenever I want background noise. And like Friday 13th, it's not even my favorite of the big three. Mine is Halloween. But it's just so good, and it's so nice to see all the people that returned for it and like telling their stories about it and everything like that. Because like I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love learning about how the movie was made and all like the shit that they went through on set and all like the stuff that they probably shouldn't have done that they did anyways. I love hearing about that. So it's a great documentary if you want to spend several hours. It's worth it though.
Yeah, and you said it took you 2 days to watch it. It took me one sitting. I sat on my couch for 7 straight hours, and because I couldn't stop watching it, I was loving it so much.
I would have loved to do that, but my problem is, I'll start things on at the worst time. Like, I'll start a new show on Sunday when I've been off the whole weekend. Like, why would I start on a Sunday and not like Friday when I get off? That's what I did with Midnight Mass. But I did start it at like 5 p.m. on a Friday, so I had to finish it Saturday. Bly Manor, I started that Sunday morning, and I watched the entire series
because
whole
it's
day.
That great. I know. It's
exactly.
That great.
It was. But that's how the next time I watch it, I would like to do it like that in one sitting because I love just laying in bed and just watching something for a long period of time, especially something that'll like Fluff, I need that.
Damn it, brother Fluff.
Honestly, go ahead. Because then I'll get no one can talk to me.
Well, damn. Okay. So I'm kidding. But no, was anything else about the documentary? Because I just now realized I had it on my Amazon cart list, like for save later for so many years. And I find it's like, I'm going to finally buy it. The item is no longer available. So
yeah,
fuck me.
Makes sense. Probably have to get an eBay for that.
Yeah, son of a bitch. But yeah, I definitely highly recommend if you could buy it on Blu-ray, definitely do so. For every Friday the 13th fan. So let's see here. Oh yeah. What about you for Insidious Chapter 2? Fan of it, or do you even like it better than the first one?
I like the first one better, but I do think it's a great sequel. It's very much like Halloween and Halloween 2, the originals, how it's like a direct continuation because it picks up right where it leaves off. And I love when movies do that. And it just makes, like, obviously it's a sequel to the first one, but it makes such a good double pairing because they like go like in like this. Like they set up things that are in like the first one and in the second one, and it pays off in the second movie. So the way they're able to like combine them both and have it like make sense to go together, I think it's a great sequel. I very much enjoy the first two movies. I need to give the third one a rewatch. The fourth one's not good. The fifth one was okay.
Yeah,
like but the first two are the best.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you. The first two are the best. Like the fifth one, I like it better than most, just because again, I feel like how they try to end everything. I thought it was acceptable in my opinion, but I agree that the fifth one is just more meh at best. Fourth one, I have a better appreciation for it, but out of the whole franchise, it's the weakest. Absolutely. The third one, I think, is the most underrated in the entire franchise, just because it actually did give me some good jump scares. Even on the second rewatch I've ever did for it, it definitely still created those same kind of scares. But definitely, like you, the first two are the best. I still have the first movie as my favorite Insidious movie of all time because how does Darth Maul's crackhead brother that scared not just itching your brain for the rest of your life. But the second movie, I still thought it was a damn good sequel because it does its job as a sequel. It doubles everything, doubled the theatrics, doubled the scares, doubled the what the fuck moments, especially with the kind of like the origin story of the woman in black. Well, no, that's the movie. The Bride in Black. I'll just say that the Bride in Black, because the Woman in Black is its own movie with Daniel Radcliffe, and I do suggest that movie. But Insidious 2, definitely such a fun time. And plus, I love Rosie as an act. Rose Byrne, I love her as an actress. I think she's terrific. Definitely one of the most underappreciated horror movie moms in the horror movie universe. So I think she needs more love on that. And of course, Patrick, he was great in this movie as well, especially the whole him like transforming as the movie progressed. I think was fantastic. So Insidious 2, I definitely like that movie.
Agreed.
And Brendan says Insidious 5 disappointed. Yeah, and you know what, and I understand why it was disappointing for most people. I'm just a little different on that.
I went into Insidious 5 just wanting it to be a decent popcorn movie, and that's what I got. It's like I wasn't disappointed in it. I was like, this is what I thought it was going to be. Not great, not the
just
worst
your
thing
middle
I've
of the
seen.
road.
Just exactly. It's what I thought it was going to be, and it was. There was one scare, though, in Insidious 5 that definitely got, like, everyone, because it was their version of that jump scare from the first movie. It got me and Braden. We both jumped. I was like, oh, that was good. But
wait a minute. So did you scream and Braden jolt, or did Braden scream and you jolt?
we both jumped. No one screamed. Not this time.
No screamers. So there we go. So Insidious 5, yeah. So it is what it is. And Evil Alex says third film is underrated, directed by Lee Winnell. Yeah, and I thought I'm pretty sure, if correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that was his first directed movie. Yeah, that's why I think his first directed movie, and I thought he did an amazing job with his first film. And then he perfected his craft in The Invisible Man, which I thought that's his best directed movie, landslide in my opinion. Armando, what's going on, my friend? How are you doing? Do I need to watch all of them to get through 5? Unfortunately, wait. Do you disagree? Because I was going to say
you
yes.
just need the first two.
Okay, that's fair.
Because with this story, you just need the first two. Maybe if you want to watch the fourth one, you could, but you don't have to because it's a prequel. So
right. Same thing with the third one too.
The third one is like basically its own thing. Like it almost has no. It has a connection, of course, but again, not to like the family we need. So I'd just say watch the first two, and then you can watch 5.
Okay, yeah. So, okay, I actually do agree with that now. So I'm glad she just told me to shut my mouth, which because I was going to say 7 stupid. So I agree now with Destiny. Yes, watch 1 and 2. If you're curious about 3 and 4, you can watch those after 5.
Yeah.
And I agree. Upgrade was another really good Lee Winnell movie as well. So I do agree with that statement. I don't like it more than what most people say. I just gave it a 4 out of 5, but a lot of people give this like 4.5s and 5s, and I personally didn't see that. But I do highly recommend you watching it because it is one of Lee Winnell's top 3 films. So, and you are so welcome. Well, actually, thank her because she just dropped some knowledge. So. All right. Oh, and the last movie we have here from 2013 again is Curse of Chucky, and man, what a welcome back to the franchise at this particular point in time after the I'm sorry to say this word, atrocity that was Seed of Chucky. Hated that movie. And then once we got Curse of Chucky, I fell in love with this style of Chucky. I loved the whole house, like just it was a creepy house. And the people in this movie, you absolutely want Chucky to fucking kill more of anything in the world. And I'm glad each and every single character got what they deserved. But definitely the standout in this movie is it's the daughter of Brad Dourif, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiona.
Fiona Dorff.
Yeah, Fiona Dourif. Yeah. Just want to make sure I got that right. Fiona Dourif absolutely was the star of this show. And I'm glad she's getting a lot more opportunities now, especially from the show. I feel like she's killing it in the show right now. I haven't seen season 2, so I don't know what else has gone with her since then. But man, just Curse of Chucky, awesome movie. Like a nice, fresh breath of fresh air for the franchise. So, what about you? Your thoughts about Curse of Chucky?
So I watched this like around the time it came out because like we had like rented it from like Redbox, and I was like watching it and I enjoyed it a lot. Like I went going into it, I was like, oh, this is probably going to be like kind of bad because it was like, you know, I was like, it probably won't be that great. But watching it, I was like, oh wow, this is really good. And then there's like that whole twist moment of the movie, and I was like, oh my god, like we're back in it, you know, like it's so crazy, and it was so much better than what I thought it was going to be. And it's like kind of like a haunted house, not like actually haunted, but the house itself looks like a haunted house type settings because it's so big and it's like dimly lit in a lot of the scenes and stuff like that. So much room for him to run around in, and you're like with this family. And again, Fiona Dourif, she's great. And like at the time I had no idea she was Brad Dourif's daughter, but you could totally see it whenever you see her.
After it was
that, you're like,
mentioned to
oh,
you.
yeah, that makes sense. But to have her kind of continue alongside with him with this franchise, and then even in the series, like you, I haven't seen season 2, but she's so great in that first season because she's playing different characters and like different versions of herself almost, and like a lot of actually went into her like thought process with the character and everything like that, and everything she's been great in. So like I would love to see her just continue to be in more stuff outside of the Chucky franchise. She was in the Purge TV series. She had like a smaller part.
Oh, cool.
But she is in it, and she's still really good in that as well. So I think she's a great actress. But yeah, Curse of Chucky, definitely. I like Seed, but it's what the franchise needed to get back to more of like the scary Chucky, but he still is Chucky. He still has his like quips, you know, but he's much more serious. And I feel like that's what guys needed because it went off the rails. I'll admit to that. I liked it, but it wasn't super serious anymore. So it needed to be more serious.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. Like for me, like serious Chucky is the best Chucky. Even though I'm a fan of Bride of Chucky, that was the one instance where I'm okay Chucky being too over the top comedic. But yeah, Seed of Chucky, it's just like, where did we go so wrong in this franchise? But again, it's great to have what came after Seed of Chucky. It definitely rejuvenated the franchise and kind of in a way saved the franchise too. So I'm glad we definitely got these movies. So that was it for Chucky. So anything else from 2013?
I have 2 sequels. They're both movies I have not seen, but one of them is Fright Night 2, so the sequel to the 2011 one, which I've seen,
nice.
the 2011 movie. And then I Spit on Your Grave 2, which again, have not seen, but I've seen the remake of I Spit on Your Grave. So I thought I'd just mention them.
No, I'm glad you did because like I get when I do the research, I always get lost with the sequels and the trilogies and all that. So I'm glad you brought those up. So those also came out in 2013. And Austin from SPC Unleashed, what's going on, man? How are you doing, my friend? So let's see here. All right, that's all I got. So let's go ahead and dive into 2018. We can pretty much just pick and choose. Like I'll do 2 at a time. That's how I'll start out. We'll just pick and choose. And you kind of mentioned already with the Purge TV series, which funny enough, and what the world? Come on, computer. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your all's conversation in the chat. But yeah, speaking of the Purge TV series, Anniversary, September the 4th of 2018. This show came out, released season 1. And if you're interested, this is on Hulu and Peacock right now. And then the other movie will add to this if it will just talk about 2 at a time. The Nun. Yeah, The Nun. Here we go. Nah, I'm just kidding. This movie was awful. Released on September the 7th of 2018. Available on Max if you're interested in it. But I'm not sure how much you're able to see of this movie with the lying in that movie. But if you want to get a good kind of like recollection or just a warm up before you go see the awesome, no, okay, it's not awesome, but very good movie of The Nun 2, you do have to watch the first Nun in order to watch Nun 2. So, Destiny, your thoughts about the Purge TV series and The Nun?
I did not watch all of the Purge TV series. I'm gonna be honest. I watched it because it had Dylan Arnold in it. He does not have a huge part, and he's not in the show. He's in it for a good amount of episodes, but he's not in it for very long. Because he's like a side plot, like a small side plot. But I only watched it because he was in it. So, spoiler alert, I was like, okay, I'm done. So I stopped watching it because I was just watching it for him. But what I did see was pretty good. Like, I was enjoying it. But I was only watching it for one character. Yeah, it was fine. Like, which I don't even think the Purge movies, I don't really think any of them are that great. I think they're all just fine. And it just is like a continuation of that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just fine. But, you know, like, it was well acted. The characters were interesting enough. Like, I was invested in the characters. But again, when he was gone, I was like, all right.
Yeah, like, I'm done.
So I'm done. I'll watch something else now. And so I did. The Nun, though, I don't think is very good. And I did fall asleep watching The Nun 2 in theaters. No offense to
and I'm out.
to the movie. I was tired. We were tired.
I know, I was missing. So
And
you do have to give it a
I fell
rewatch in the
asleep.
future.
And I don't really do that. I fell asleep during The Pope's Exorcist a little bit. That's because the movie was bad. This
That's
time,
explanatory.
I was so tired. And I was trying to fight it, but I couldn't. And I passed out in that theater. And I woke up at the end credits scene. So I made it maybe 20 or 25 minutes in, completely missed it, fell asleep, woke up, and I was like, oh God. Because then Brandon's like, what did you think of the movie? I was like, I said, I
bet
thought
he
it was
asked
better
you
than the first
sarcastically.
one. I was like, oh, I thought it was better than the first movie. And then the next day I was like, I don't know what the fuck happened. Because he was asking me, he's like, do you remember this part? I'm like, no. And he was like, that was the climax of the movie. I'm like, no. And all those like moments from the trailer, didn't even get to him. Had no idea. He's like, you at least saw the magazine scene, right? No. I was out. So I basically missed all of it. Yeah. And now I'm just gonna wait till it comes out on streaming because
please do that so you can rewatch it because again, I think it's definitely a lot better than the first Nun. Definitely is, but definitely still nothing that special. So Ashton, I kind of agree with you in a way. Nun 2
from
was
what I
okay.
saw, it was like a little bit better, but it's still also those typical type movies. Like there's one scene that I saw with one of the little girls, and the way the nun pops out, I was just like, y'all ruin it. Y'all fucking set something up so good and you ruin it.
Mm-hmm.
Quit doing that. Because you already set up such a great scene, and then you have to be cheap with it and throw in a cheap jump scare. Be like, ooh, he's so scary. No, it's not fucking scary. It's jumpy, but that does not make it scary. I want to be unsettled because that's what's scary. Like the scene from the first Nun, whenever she's walking through and it's like with the shadow and stuff, and then there's that jump scare with the whole mirror. I was like, you set up something so good just to fucking what? Slap us in the face? It's so annoying.
Awful CGI.
Literally, exactly. And the CGI like face with the mouth, I was just like, you single-handedly ruin your fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why must you do that? But so what I've seen was a little bit decent. I like the new addition of the characters. You have the girl who was in Missing, who I really liked her in Missing, and so far what I've seen of her in this, I really like her in this as well. And it's fun to have like younger people in this that are adding like a little bit of humor, because the first movie's so like dreary and like dry, I feel like. And
Mhm.
it's good to have a little bit of like comedy implemented that actually works, because they tried in the first one. I just feel like it didn't work. With this, between the girls, I feel like it works a lot better. So it's at least more interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and definitely, again, when it comes out on streaming, because it'll be on Max eventually. I
Yeah.
definitely say give it another watch when you're definitely more awake. Like again, not going to be that much of a jump from the Nun, but it's again like my prediction. It's got the Annabelle creation treatment, and I felt
Mhm.
like it did. They definitely tried a lot harder to make it better, but not by that much. So for the Nun, the first Nun, it could go fuck off. But for the Nun 2, I definitely say at least give it a watch on streaming when it comes out. You don't need to rush out to the theater. I will admit that. And then the Jesus Custom Footwear. What's going on, man? How are you doing today? Bear down. I will chief down. So I know me and Brayden are about to be enemies at 4:25 my time. So we're gonna hate each other today, just for 3 hours. But
Oh, they're
Ashton says,
playing. Y'all are
yeah,
playing against each other.
and it's going to be
That's
a
funny.
fun day for the Chiefs. So, the Conjuring
We'll
universe
see.
best days are far. What'd you say?
We'll see.
Say that one more time. Anyways, as I was saying here, got you back. So, but no, welcome back there. But Asha says the Conjuring universe best days are far behind us, I'm afraid. I'm not ready to say that yet. I want to see how The Conjuring 4 does and the TV show do before. Yeah, but I'm kind of like with me and Brad even talked about it. The only way The Conjuring could get saved at this point is if James Wan returns. That's the only way. So I'm not sure. What do you feel? Do you think The Conjuring universe is dead, or do you think it has hope?
No, I think it's dead.
Oh, that
You after the last, which I
because you
enjoyed
recently
Annabelle.
watched Annabelle Create or Annabelle Comes Home, didn't you?
Yeah, and I actually enjoyed that one. I gave it like 3 out of 5 though, so I don't think it was anything
Good
too
score.
great. But like I love the Warren characters, of course. So like those parts of it is like what really saved it for me. But I don't like The Conjuring 3. I thought that movie was pretty awful.
Oh,
Um,
God.
with the 9 not, which I'm curious to see the third movie. I feel like they could save it in the third movie. They have the really good chance to like make it really good. But
Mhm.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it's just my favorite Conjuring movie is the first one.
Oh, forever and always.
So almost everything that's come out, almost like it just doesn't compare for me for the first one. Even like The Conjuring 2, I like it, and I've only seen it like maybe twice in comparison to the first one, which I've seen at least 20 times. But so I do need to give that a watch again. I wanted to watch that one in December though, because it is kind of a Christmas movie.
And plus, I think I talked to Braden, or I watched one of Braden's old streams. I think he even said that The Conjuring 2 he thinks he likes better from the first one.
It is his favorite.
That's crazy to me.
And
Like
I'm
I
always like,
respect The
no.
Conjuring 2, but just that first movie is pure perfection. Like I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, no, I love that first one. In the top 10,
Yeah,
where it
top
deserves to be.
3 for me. So
Love
like,
it. So nothing compares to the first one for me. So when everything kind of like fails in comparison constantly, I'm just like, damn,
yeah.
come on. And then when you have like The Conjuring compared to The Conjuring 3, I'm like, what the fuck did y'all
Like
do?
it was a simple concept. All you have to be was the exorcism of Emily Rose, but in your own way. That's all you had to be. If
But the
it
villain
decides
for
to
that
do,
movie,
and that's the thing, it decided to be fucking curses. The Conjuring is not about curses. It's about spirits and shit. Like what?
it was
Okay, see,
just
I'm being mad.
so, it was so bad. It was like seriously so bad. And I was just like, what the fuck happened? How do you go from this to this?
I'm like that
So
TikTok guy. What the fuck?
literally,
What the fuck? What did you do to it? What did you do to it?
that's how I feel. That's how I felt watching. I was just like, y'all really did not care. And if y'all
No.
did, y'all cared about the wrong things. Y'all did not. It didn't feel like The Conjuring. I don't know.
No, and just to finish off that, the only way you can save The Conjuring at this point is 2 words: James Wan. That's all. It's just James Wan. It's just he had the understanding for it, and without him, yeah, it's just going to keep going downhill. It's just money grabbing at this point.
Yeah.
So, all right. I thought there was going to be like 6, but we got 3 more from 2018, so I'll just combine them together. I don't have really much thought to any of these, but so I'll see what you think. First off, 2018, for September 14th, this is Mandy, Nicolas Cage's, one of his big, actually, I think at this point, return films, like, or diving into the horror genre even more. This is available on Tubi right now if you're interested in Mandy. Another 2018 movie. This is going to be super quick. I'll even make it easy for everybody. It's Predator, September 14th of 2018, or excuse me, The Predator. And The Predator could go directly into trash. This movie is absolutely awful. And then the last one is Hellfest, released on September the 28th of 2018. A kind of like fun, like theme park horror type of movie. Is available on Tubi right now. And again, my quick thoughts about these movies. Mandy, I thought it was okay. I know a lot of people enjoyed it, but I thought it was okay. Again, the redeeming quality of this movie is Nicolas Cage and his freaking freak out scene in the bathroom. That kind of saved the movie for me. I liked his performance. Predator, again, trash. Hellfest, I have a really good time with this movie. It's just a fun, like, October movie in a way. If you want to just put a movie on in the background, just have fun for an hour and 30, Hellfest is that movie for you. But from my recollection, I think I had Bloodfest over Hellfest. It just kind of goes back and forth, whatever you're feeling at the time. So, Desi, any thoughts between any of these 3 movies?
I love Mandy. I think Mandy's great. Um, I can't remember the first time I watched Mandy if it was like on my own. I think it might have been. And then watched it on the last drive-in because they paired that one with Dead and Buried, which was a pretty interesting mix. Which I love that double feature. That was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. But I think Mandy's great. The colors are amazing. The life that like they have together before everything goes wrong is so like, it's just like a dream, really. Like they're kind of like secluded into this cute like woodsy like cabin type house, and she paints, and you know he's like a logger, and they like watch the stars when they go to bed and stuff, and it's such like a cute story for these 2 people. And then it turns into like a revenge story when everything goes wrong, and it's so upsetting. And to see him freak out like that, like you can feel it. Like it looks like silly, but like he's like losing it because like of what just happened. And then you have like Richard Brake in it for a little bit, which is really fucking cool. I love when he pops up in movies. Love him. Super cool dude. So he's wonderful in that. And then like I just when Red gets his redemption for Mandy, it's so good, and it's so just like you feel like every brutality that he like, you know, commits on these guys, because you feel where it's coming from. So it's very good. I enjoy the movie so many times, or I've seen it like probably like 5 times. I love watching it with the projector just because it's such like all the colors and everything like that. It's a great movie to get high to and then watch because you're like, invested in all the colors. I got the Funko Pops for both Mandy and Red from Walmart. Super happy to find those there. I was like, no way, it's Mandy. That's super cool. So definitely recommend it if you haven't seen. Yeah.
Okay. And what about Predator? Because I know how much. Yes, I'm just telling you right now. Fuck that movie. So skip it completely.
Have not seen it.
And then the last one is Hellfest.
Hellfest, kind of like out of like Haunt, Bloodfest, and Hellfest. It's my like least favorite of the 3. Although I think visually it's more appealing than any of them. Because like it's so colorful. Haunt has some of the colorfulness to it, but with this, it's like every set piece is so like grand. But when it comes to like the characters, I think they're fine. Like it's a fine movie. And it's just like a good one to watch during October. Like it's nothing too special, but it is just a good one to add to the list because it has like the Halloween vibes to it. And it's a good one like if you wanted to put it on at a party. I think it's a good one. Like the kills are pretty good. Some of them are quite shocking. Some people die a lot earlier than you probably expect them to. And I think that like the main lead actress is pretty good. And it has one of the actresses from
the Scream show
series, which
Audrey.
I did watch that. Yeah. So, and like I liked her in this one too. So, yeah, like it's fine. It's good. I give it like 3 out of 5 stars. So it's nothing like too special, but just to kind of throw on, like you said, as like maybe you're doing stuff around the house, but you want to have a movie on. It's like a good one to watch, or just a good one for a Halloween party because of the visuals.
No, absolutely agree with that. And what do you remember Bloodfest at all? And between which of the two, Bloodfest or Hellfest?
Bloodfest.
Because it has the guy in the chair from Spider-Man. Who is the ultimate bro. He's the ultimate bro, and you know what scene I'm talking about in Homecoming.
Yeah. I like Bloodfest. It's different though. Like it's a different movie than what I thought going into it. So it's kind of like a little bit surprising whenever watching it, but I did like Bloodfest quite a bit. But Haunt is the best out of all 3.
Oh no. It's just like, again, it's like what we talked about earlier with Scream and I Know What You Did Last Summer and Urban Legend. Same thing. Haunt is just on just a whole other class by itself. Nothing's going to touch Haunt. And it's actually in my top 15 movies of all time.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. Or like a scary movie, that is. So that is all I got from 2018. Anything else you find from 2018?
I have a couple. I have one that's called Bloodline, which I own, but I haven't seen. But Chad like sent it to me because he said it was like pretty good. So I still need to watch it though. A movie called Climax, which I have not seen.
Yes. How do I forget to put Climax on this list?
The movie Terrified, which had came out earlier that year in Argentina, but it was released on Shudder on September 1st.
And actually, I'll let you know, we'll talk about that movie in October.
Okay.
No, I was just saying, like, that's one of the movies I remember I had because, and plus, it's weird too. I did see some September stuff, but like, I also saw October stuff, so I was kind of confused, and I put it on the Halloween special.
Well, we'll talk about that next month. But Terrified.
I know, so sorry about that.
And then, Overlord, which is a great movie. I love Overlord. I watched it because Joseph Quinn was in it. And again, not in it for very long whatsoever. But it has Kurt Russell's son in it. He is the main character, which he also is in The Falcon and Winter Soldier in that as well. So he is very good in Overlord. Because I was like watching, I was like, dang, he looks so familiar. But like, I don't really recognize him, but he looks familiar. And I looked him up. Kurt Russell's son, I was like, that's why he looks familiar. Because he fucking looks like his dad. But Overlord is very good. And like, I don't want to say too much about it. Because like, I mean, you can kind of figure out like what it is, even by the poster. But maybe just like don't look into it too much and just like go in blind. Because I was pretty blind watching it. He's in it longer than 40 seconds. He's at least in it for like 3 minutes, okay? Unfortunately, it's within the first 3. And he only has like 3 lines, but it's fine. But it's a great movie. It's like very like action-packed. I feel like the final girl, she's not talked about enough because she was actually really good and she kicks ass in it. So I definitely recommend Overlord. I think I watched it on either Paramount, I think it was Paramount Plus or maybe Max. So if it's still streaming, I definitely recommend watching it because it's not talked about enough, honestly. And it's like a wartime movie as well. And I don't really like those. Like the 2 subgenres I'm not really a fan of either. But when they combined both of them together in this movie, it worked out so well. So if you haven't seen Overlord, I recommend you watch it.
All right, it's definitely going on my list. I've always remember having Overlord like in the middle of my list, but I'm going to start to move it up a little higher and even try to get to watching it this upcoming October. So that's going to be my plan for that. And plus, I kind of want to see, like again, like Gavin said, those first 40 seconds of the movie.
3 minutes.
And then Jamie, how are you doing? Jamie, how are you doing? I just
Hi.
pretty much just said the same things twice in a row, but third time's the charm. Jamie Hart, how are you doing? So, all right, is that it for 2018?
Yes.
Awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and dive into the last year. Again, we need to celebrate the movies from last year, and that's what we want. We would like to do. And this first, well, let's see, how many do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 8, so we're just going to tackle 2 at a time, and we'll go through these. So the first 2 I have here, the first one being one of the most surprise movies of last year, Barbarian, released on September the 9th of 2022. This is available on Max and Hulu if you have not seen this movie. And then this second movie is the movie that Destiny had me watch that I've never seen before, and that is Speak No Evil. It was a Shudder original movie released on September the 15th of 2022. So we'll go ahead and tackle Barbarian first. Barbarian, I wasn't, again, it's one of those instances I've said earlier. I wasn't as high on this movie than most people are. So I still enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a really good movie, but I just didn't think it was like, oh my God, wow. Like this could be one of the movies from the 2020s that can really just define horror. I didn't think that highly of it, but I still thought it was really good. It has some really good jump scares, has some good tension scenes to it, and yet again, Mr. Long, no success. So in this movie. So, what did you think about Barbarian, Destiny?
I'm kind of like you. I feel like it was a little bit overhyped because I didn't watch it until it came out on streaming, and I watched it that day it came out on streaming. As soon as I was home, and I really liked a lot of it. Like I thought everything was going great until it like hits a certain point, and that's when it kind of lost me.
That's
But up
where it
until
lost
then,
me
I was
too.
like on board, and it was surprising because like you kept getting like different times of like when things were like happening, and again, someone shows up. Love the man, love to see him. Was a little bit like, whoa, what are we doing here now? But I thought it was still enjoyable. I love Bill Skarsgård so much. And I love that whole first part of the movie when they're interacting because they do both seem like so sweet and stuff, even though it is such a weird situation. But you can tell like because going into this movie, you see Bill Skarsgård. I'm like, oh, here's our villain because it's Bill Skarsgård. He plays such a good villain. And then he's not, and like he's so sweet and everything's so cute. Even though they say he's like 6'1" or 6'2" on his driver's license, that man is way taller than that. He's like 6'7",
Has to be
6'8". He is way taller than like 6'1". So don't know what's up with that, but that man is huge. But I really enjoyed it. I just don't think it's as great as I feel like it kind of went off the rails just to go off the rails, like without real like like I just felt like some of the movies nowadays they're trying to just be like, what if we do this? Because that would just be so crazy. Like, who cares if it makes sense? It would just be so crazy, right? And so that's why they do it. Yeah, Justin Long in the like he's such a douchebag. He's gross. He's yucky. He has like just still because it's Justin Long, and like even when he plays an asshole, it's Justin Long. So you're like, oh, damn it. And every time he plays like a bad character, I'm like, oh, fuck. Like in Tusk, he's like a kind of a crappy character. He's just an asshole. And this one, he's even more than an asshole. Like he's, he's a rapist. So it's
scum.
like, fuck you. You're not who I want to root for. And then what he does at the end, it's just like, you absolute dickhead. And she went back for you. What the fuck? I wouldn't have. I get it. It's human. And she doesn't know everything. But still, like, you're lucky she went back for you and then you fucked her over. Well, then he got his comeuppance, so it doesn't matter. But Yeah, I don't think it's as good as everyone said it was, but also I just think it was overhyped. But I
Right.
still enjoy it. It just wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be.
No, and I agree because that's kind of what it did. Like, it's like, oh, people are hyping this up. This ought to be damn good, and I'm like, I don't see the hype. But no, I do respect Barbarian Foe. I still think it was really solid. But that's all pretty much it is to me. It's just, nice movie just to mention from the 2020s, but never more than that.
Yeah.
So let's see. All right, I think we're still good. And I gotta get your thoughts first. Oh, and first of all, I want to say hello to Kelly. I know Kelly. How are you doing, Kelly? Hope everything is going great. And welcome to Good Real Hunting and for Back from the Dead. So everybody, please make Kelly feel welcome. And yeah, okay. I was going to mention this first, but I gotta get your thoughts because I saw your letterbox grade for this. Talk about Speak No Evil because I got to understand where all this is coming from.
Well, so I watched Speak No Evil last year because I kept seeing everyone talk about it because it was released on Shudder, and I just kept seeing so many tweets about it, like almost like at least I would see 10 a day while scrolling on Twitter. So I was like, dang, I should like watch this movie. And then the reviews for it are very divided. Like some people really enjoyed it, some people hated it. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I should watch it. Like, what if it's like not worth my time? Then one day I was trying to find something to watch, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch it. And it's like it's the kind of like these movies are so anxiety inducing for me because it's like the faux pas horror where like you're afraid to like say something or you're afraid to like do something, and it's just like those weird awkward situations between people. Hate that in real life. Watching it in movies, it makes me so uncomfortable. Like that stresses me out so much. And so the whole movie I was like, oh my god, because it's like you don't want to cross boundaries, but they're crossing your boundaries, and you're kind of put in a weird place of like you want to say something, but you're just like, how do I go about this? And they get so close, and then it's fucked, and it's so upsetting. And like I get why people don't like it, but and people are like, oh, I would have just left. Well, they do leave. Unfortunately,
I
a
know
mother
what scene you're
effing
talking
stuffed
about.
animal causes death. But like everything is just so like they still are doing the right things, but it's just like so awkward. And it's like imagine how you would be, because you could say like, oh, I would just get the fuck out of there. But being in like weird, awkward situations, you kind of like a lot of people just like freeze and they just are like, oh fuck, because like at one point these people are fine, the next moment they're fucking like, whoa, red flags. And then by the time they're realizing things and they try to go and they have to come back, and by then it's like they're fucked. And then the ending is it's such a downer ending. Like there's not a happy ending in this. You're just like, literally when it ended, I was just left like, oh my god.
Could have been avoided.
It could have been.
That was my first thought. It's like this whole third act could easily be avoided. Even if you caught yourself in the middle of this third act, I felt like I could have gotten my family out of it. That's just my opinion. I feel like this family just didn't even try at the end. I'm not sure, but what I do understand, but I'm glad you kind of spoke upon your experience, like with anxiety and like all that, because I didn't think about that. That makes sense. And I could get why people like this movie for that reason to play on that particular horror. I'm on the opposite end of that. I'm just like, no, I'd just already be straight out here. I would have said my point of mind. Like, nope, fuck this. Like, again, with that certain thing you talked about, I was like, nope, we'll take care of that later. But like this movie, I just wanted to punch the family in the damn face. I hated that family, the stupidest family I've ever seen in a horror movie. But I did love the cinematography, and this is also a movie for me that how could we be more awkward from the last scene? And that's what kept me kind of engaged. It's like, how can they make this more awkward from the previous scene? For some reason, they still found the way. So I gave it plenty of credit for that. But for at the end of the day, I'll never watch it again. I just gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I gave it like a 3 out of 5. So still, I didn't think it was like anything, too amazing. But just being in those like awkward situations where you're like, oh fuck, what do I do? Because you don't want to like cause a scene. And you don't want to think it's like a bigger deal than what it actually is, but trust your instincts. If you feel like something's off, then you trust it, because your body will know before you do. So trust that.
As Ray says in a Scary Movie, run, bitch, run.
Exactly. As soon as you feel like something's off, just get out. You'd rather be safe than sorry.
Exactly. And no, I'm Jamie. I kid you not. If you watch this movie, if you think like me, if you watch this movie, you will say the exact same thing, because that's how pretty much Fauci was when he saw my mess or my Instagram story. He's like, dude, good luck, because Fauci did not like this movie at all.
Yep.
But again, I'm glad how you explained on your view. I could easily see why people like this movie. So I do have a little found more respect to this movie. So I won't hate on it as much on that side of things, because now I can clearly see that. So I'm glad you brought that up. So, all right, those are what I got for those two. So, let's see here. All right, the next two I got here, as we talked about earlier, you mentioned Martyrs with the American remake being bad. Here's another American remake that was awful. It's Goodnight Mommy, released on September 16th of last year. This is the American version of the original. If you're interested, it is on Prime right now. But just I've not seen this movie, so I'll make this quick. I have no damn interest. I am interested to seeing the original Goodnight Mommy, because I hear nothing but very excellent things about it. And then the other one I got here, and this is one of the more popular movies from last year, and I'll even bring up a comment from earlier saying Armando said, I just noticed Destiny's earrings, and there's a reason she wore those earrings today. It's because we are going to be talking about Pearl, that was released last year on September the 16th. Very good scores all around, and it's available to rent for an amazing rate at $4 right now, which to me, that is a complete steal, if you ask me. So if you have not seen Pearl, take advantage of that $4 rent right now. So, Destiny, any thoughts about Goodnight Mommy? If you've not seen it, we could just skip it, and just your thoughts about Pearl.
Haven't seen Goodnight Mommy, but I loved Pearl. I loved X, so I was super excited that we're getting like a surprise prequel. And like I love the whole stylization of Pearl. I love how different it is than X, who's obviously set in a different time period. Um, and like with COVID happening and stuff, and they have like this Spanish flu going around in 1918, it kind of was like super surreal to watch her like wear a mask going to the movie theaters. You're like, oh my god, like we're in the same situation right now. What the fuck? But to see Pearl and like where like, because we obviously introduced her in X, but to see where she comes from, and Mia Goth absolutely kills it in all three roles as old Pearl, Maxine, and then young Pearl. The monologue is amazing. She is so talented. She can play such like a likable but like awkward and kind of like off-putting person. She just seems like she has no social skills because she doesn't. And just that whole part with the scarecrow, and then like you're kind of seeing her like losing it a little bit, and then she's steadily losing it, and then when she starts killing, it's just like, oh fuck. And a lot of it is shocking, and I love the way it's shot, and it's very much like Wizard of Oz, but with more horrific stuff going on. So, oh yeah, and the end credits. The end credit was absolutely amazing. Her just smiling with eyes wide open, tears pouring as she's like continuing to go. Wonderful. I think an absolutely like just amazing performance, and it was a shame again she didn't get the credit she deserved. Because she absolutely deserves so much more than what she got from this role. So, and I'm very excited to see Maxine. I'm so excited to see where this trilogy takes us. And I still think I put X above Pearl. That's just because like I like the style of X more than like the 1918 setting. But I think I rated both movies like the same. I would just prefer to watch X. But I think in total, I feel like Maxine might be my favorite just because it's like 80s slasher theme.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's going to be incredible. Have you heard about like it's going to be a whodunit?
Yeah, which I figured it would be, because I was like, where are they going to take this? But a whodunit makes sense.
And plus, it's kind of like the whole trilogy offers something different within the horror genre too. So to include the whodunit aspect to it, I think was a brilliant move.
Yep, I'm very excited. I cannot wait for it. But I love both movies we've gotten so far, so I'm so excited to see where they take us. I want a fucking trailer so bad. Just something. I know we got the Maxine as like the Hollywood sign type thing, but I want just a little bit more than one still picture and one little video. I want at least like a 10-second snippet from the actual movie itself. I just want to see something.
Hopefully with the writer's strike about to be over, hopefully today, that's the hope, is it ends today, that maybe we could get a trailer soon for it, because I'm so ready for Maxine.
Well, A24 isn't affected by the writer's strike.
Oh, is it not?
They're its own thing, so because they properly pay everyone there,
Okay.
so like they're not included in the writer's strike because they are properly paying everyone. So everyone, they're good there, as long as it's not tied to any other production companies, which I feel like it probably won't, because it's A24. You know, like I don't.
A24 does shit right.
Yeah, they should be hopefully fine, but yeah, hopefully it fucking ends today.
Yeah, so A24, what are you doing? Give us a damn trailer for Maxine, please. And then Armando, I want to get your comment here. You saying actually Pearl is on Peacock right now. So if that's the case, definitely it's a bigger steal in my opinion, because Pearl is such a popular movie. They should have charged like a $20 rent for this one, because to me it's worth a $20 rent. But if you can get it for free on Peacock, go to Peacock right now and watch it. Because Ashton, I saw your comment. I was going to let you get away, you sneaky bastard. I still haven't seen Pearl or X. Yep, I'm definitely on the list of getting canceled. You're damn right you are, because both of those movies are absolutely fantastic. And Destiny pretty much just hit everything on the nail about Pearl. So the only other thing I'll mention left is Pearl, to me, is a great character study as well. Just about just the psychotic like breakdown of like you just knew something was off about her, but as the movie progresses, you just see more of the chaos, just of the mental, like just breaking piece by piece. And then just at the end of it, she just is the Pearl that we know from X. So to me, it's a great character study. It's a one of the possibly, I would say right now, the best horror prequel of all time. I think it's that great of a film, but like Destiny, I do prefer X better. Just by a couple of by a couple of like just little small details, because I still have X as possibly my top movie of the 2020s so far. But Pearl is still an excellent movie. If you've not seen it, please go watch it. So let's see here. You better end the stream before. Yeah, I know. I'm trying. But we still got a couple more movies to talk about, so hopefully we could get to it here. So the next two movies, this one should go by pretty quick in a way. This piece of shit movie right here of Jeepers Creepers Reborn, piece of shit. I'll keep on saying that word because that's exactly what this movie is, so I won't address it much further than that. If you're curious for some known reason, it is on Hulu right now. But the movie you should be watching, to me, was one of my more surprising movies of last year. It's a little film on Shudder called Sissy, released on September the 29th. And this movie, very, very different for what Shudder normally provides, but I thought it fit, and I really, really enjoyed this movie. And especially about the lead performance. I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I thought she was fantastic. And you could just watch this movie by itself just for her. So, Desi, what do you think about Sissy? And if you have any thoughts on Jeepers Creepers 4?
Haven't seen Jeepers Creepers Reborn, and I'm not going to. I don't care.
Nope. Toss it. So talk about Sissy.
Sissy is a lot of fun. I watched this kind of like, I think I had seen Jason Smith post about it and say like it was good, and I was like, oh, okay. And I liked the cover for it, and then watching it, I loved it. It was such a good surprise. It is about like, it's really about like female friendships and like growing up and stuff like that. And then you have our lead character kind of like going through things, and you uncover like what had happened and like why there's so much tension, and they're trying to like rekindle their friendship, and then there's basically like a nervous breakdown, and then shit just keeps going left and right. But it's so good, and like I love the color palette of it. It's so colorful, everything's so bright, and the characters are like those typical like bitchy type, like influencer-y type characters for the most part. But I think it's fun. Like I think they're a lot of fun to watch and everything like that, and especially like as a group, because not everyone is the stereotypical. There's like a little bit more to them than just that, but it's just a fun little movie. If you just want something new to watch, I watched this last year. I think it was one of my October movies because I feel like I remember it being one of my posts on Instagram for October.
Mhm.
So, but it was really good. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I highly recommend it too. And plus, the practical effects in this movie are really spot on and underrated as well from last year as well.
Yeah,
Um,
I picked one of the kills for
yes,
the Real
sir.
Horror Awards. It was from Sissy. I put that in
And
like
I
drawing.
love that you did, just because that kill needed a lot of mention to it.
Yep, and it was really good.
Hell yeah. And Jamie says, I'm with Destiny. I don't feel the need to watch Jeepers Creepers Reborn, and trust me, don't, because I had to do it as a punishment that I lost a contest with Brad, and he picked that movie for me to do a watch party live, just watching my pain and misery about that movie. Trust me, that my live stream is better than the movie on that. So please just skip Jeepers Creepers Reborn. You're saving yourself a huge favor.
Yeah, I just remember watching the trailer because I was at Taco Bell waiting for my food, sitting there, and I was just like, it's so similar to like
awful.
what Bloodfest is like it because I remember saying that I was like that just looks like Bloodfest in a way because they're at like this carnival thing and it's like the parts I hate about the third movie is the fucking fourth movie takes that and then amps it up to like 100 and I was just like this is awful. Y'all are so this is so bad. It's so just I've seen like TikTok clips of it and I'm just like I cannot believe this is a real movie.
I will say there's one thing you will like about it, is that the couple in the movie, they do a cosplay of Jennifer's body.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Other than that, that's it. That's the only thing you will like about it. And of course, Dee Wallace is in it for 2 fucking minutes, and she's done.
Sometimes she chooses a very questionable films.
I just want to talk to
To
her
be in.
agent.
It's like, hey, we don't have to do
Yeah.
everything.
No, absolutely not. And Armando says it's on Paramount Plus, not Peacock, for Pearl. So if you have Paramount Plus, go watch Pearl right now. Do it now. And then let's see here. The last 2 movies I have, and then we're done. I already know I got to pay Destiny $10, but you know what? She's worth it. So the last 2 movies we have is Hocus Pocus 2. I was just surprised that this is not an October release, but you know what? Close enough. But it's September 30th of 2022, Hocus Pocus 2. And the last movie we'll talk about is one of the more surprising movies of last year as well. It is Smile, released on September the 30th. And this is on Paramount Plus and Prime Video right now. So, Destiny, I'll let you finish off with these 2, and I'll give my thoughts, and we'll start wrapping things up.
Well, with Smile, kind of like Barbarian, I wasn't as huge on it as everyone else was, but I didn't think it was bad. I gave it like I think 3.5 out of 5 stars. I just thought I was going to enjoy it a little bit more because it was basically like the concept isn't necessarily anything we haven't seen before. It was just like a different rendition of it, which fine. You have Kyle Gallner in it, which I very much enjoy. So I was happy to see him in this, and I think the lead character, she's great as well. So like it had and like the effects for it. Maybe besides the big reveal, I was just like, this is not scary. Like that part really lost me. I was just like, really, out of every like this is what okay, whatever. But it's just like one of those things where it's kind of like the Invisible Man, where your lead character is going through stuff that like only she's basically seeing. So everyone else around her thinks she's going crazy, but we know she's like in the right. Like we know she's not losing it. But it is just like one of those stories. And we're getting a second one next year during October. So, you know, I'll definitely be there to watch it. I didn't get to see this one in theaters. And I did really want to. I just wasn't like able to go. So I would like to see the second one in theaters because I think that would have enhanced the experience. Because I kind of just like watched it by myself, like on my TV. But I think in the theaters, it would have been like at least scarier. Oh, and the drone shots, like they kept doing those like upside down shots.
Yes.
That like started to piss me off. I was like, we get it.
One
That
per
doesn't have to
movie.
be a transition shot every single time we're going to a new scene because you've done it way too many times.
Mhm.
So every time I did one of those, I was just like, give me something different. I'm so fucking tired of seeing the city. I don't care. So, besides that, that was like an actual gripe of a the movie. I was like, even like my coworker at work who doesn't watch horror movies did watch Smile, and I was like, "Did you notice all the fucking panning shots of the city and how the camera goes upside down?" She's like, "Yeah." I was kind of like, "What? Why are they doing that?" I was like, "Thank you," because it was starting to get on my nerves. But it does have some pretty shocking moments. In the ending, we knew we were going to get a sequel. They left it open for a sequel, so that's exciting. I'll be there for the second one. It just, again, wasn't as good as I thought it would be, but I would put it on like sort of the same level as Barbarian. They're both good, or even better than good. I think they're like above average.
Above,
I gave them
good
both
word.
like 3 out of 5. It's just, I thought it was a little bit overhyped. Which again, I don't have to let the overhype get to me. I can just be like, okay, just keep it at, but you get excited, you see everyone else being like, oh my god, this is like the best movie of the year, and I'm like, oh shit, it must be like really good. And then I go into it, I'm just like, damn it, I do it to myself. I did it
Fucking
again.
people.
Yeah, so I just need to stop letting the hype get to me, because I'm pretty much disappointed every single time.
No, I'm the same way. That especially that's actually a problem we've seen in the world of horror right now is the overhypedness of movies, because it kind of almost ruins the experience in a way. And Smile is another great example for that. And the two things I'll add on top of that: personal story, and then just wasn't the marketing so freaking amazing for Smile? Like they had like people all
Yeah,
over
the
the world
marketing
start
was
doing the
great.
Smile. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like sort of, because they used to go all out with marketing, especially like in the 60s and stuff for like horror movies. And like the 2000s, I think, had like a lot of fun marketing, but it kind of like lost that. But with the marketing for this movie, I was like, that's what y'all need to be doing, because you're getting everyone talking about it. It was on the fucking news. Like, that's so cool. The same thing with like Terrifier 2, with like how people's reactions, it was like on the freaking news. Like, it was such a big deal. Like, we need more of this. We need to keep this up, because it just makes it so much more fun. I love like the gimmicky sort of like things for it, because I live for it. I think it's great, and you get more people excited.
Yeah. No, I agree. It get more excited because, like, again, it was on like I forgot what was I can't remember the morning show on CBS, but someone was staying behind the window doing the smile thing. Then you had someone at the baseball game do the smile thing on camera, which I thought that was amazing. So, like, yeah, absolutely, the marketing was absolutely great. And then the ever personal story behind Smile, because again, I agree with Destiny. Pretty much said everything about Smile. It's just above average, but it's not that great. But I do want to show all this off because the team from Smile, because I even messaged Destiny about this. It's like, are these people fake? And she goes, well, just give it a shot. And I did. And I got all this cool stuff. I got this Smile mug, got Smile like floss, and I'm not even sure what this is. Just all bunch of just bunch of small things like toothpaste. Well, not toothpaste, but toothbrush, and just so many things. And I do appreciate the Smile team for doing that for me. And the reason they did that, I believe, is they saw my tweet. I had like these two teenage people absolutely ruin the movie for me, and it sucked just because I know Smile was trying to be like a jumpy, scary movie, but it didn't work for me because of the audience I had, and they felt bad. And I've been meaning to buy me a Blu-ray because I want to invest in their movie just because of how nice they were to me. But at the end of the day, like Des said, it's just a little bit above average horror movie, but that's just about it. It's just, you know what, this movie did a lot better than I thought it was going to be, but that's pretty much it. And then what about Hocus Pocus 2 to finish things off?
I really enjoyed Hocus Pocus 2. Is it as good as the first one? Absolutely not. But do I think it was like a serviceable sequel? Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as like people are thinking it was going to be, like the dialogue and stuff. And they, with a bunch of like the new technology and stuff like that, like it made it work for the movie, and it had like funny bits with it. So I enjoyed it. We made it like a whole day at my house, like at my mom's house. We came over, we had the first one playing. We ate like pizza, popcorn, cookies, and stuff like that. Wore like Halloween sweaters and stuff to make it like a full thing. And then we watched it, the second one, with like everyone was here. So it was a lot of fun. And we want to do it again this year, and have like a double feature like party again. Because it was just so much fun. It was a great time. So I enjoy it. And it could just also be like because of like watching it with my family too, but everyone like at least enjoyed it. Like my mom wasn't super big on it, but she also grew up with the original. I mean, I did too, but she like literally grew up with it from the 90s too. So, um, but I think it was serviceable. It was fun.
No, that's the best word for it. It is fun, and to me, it's a successful sequel. And I'd like how you mentioned using the technology and just like the modern times of everything, and mixing it well with Hocus Pocus. Because again, my favorite scene in the entire movie is one of the three sisters riding the Roombas, which I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I think how like they did trick them with the circle thing with like the newer technology of the circle, how they can't cross the circle. But I thought this was a good sequel at the end of the day. Not better than the original. Nothing could beat the original. Like, come on, the original is the original. But it was good just to see them back and just for one last good run. If they're planning on to do a third one, I kind of hope they don't do a third one. I felt like they should just end it with this second one because the ending of the second one was a little wonky, but I figured they just had to get somewhere with it. So I guess that's fine, but I don't need another one. But just a second movie, like you said, Destiny, if you want to have a fun day and just do double feature movies, like I would say if you want to have a really fun day, Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, Halloween Town 1 and 2, and you're going to have a terrific day. That's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah. I love Halloween
So,
Town 1 and 2.
I still need to see Halloween Town 2 because I didn't know they had like 2, 3, and 4 until like 2 years ago.
It's not. Some of
Nothing
it's
to,
bad, but you know,
yeah.
it's
So
fun.
you don't sound that with very much confidence.
There's one. There's one effect that's like god awful, but I still think it's a fun time, and they're
All
so
right.
easy to watch. Like they fly by. Like it's so quick. So I watch the first two every October.
Okay, good. Big. I'm going to watch the second one, but I always watch the first one every October as well. Because how can you not? It's fucking Halloween Town. It's freaking
That's what I'm
amazing.
saying.
Yeah, but if you want to watch more Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, especially Hocus Pocus 2, great movies. So definitely add those to your October watches. Let's see here. I think y'all are good in the chat saying you like Hocus Pocus 2. Awesome. Did you find anything else for 2022? Did I miss?
No, I think that's it.
All right, awesome. So that is pretty much all of the years that we've talked about. So real quickly, and we'll get on out here because damn, now I got to pay Destiny $20 now. So let's see here. We're gonna do the best of the best and the worst of the worst. So the best of the best is September. Sissy by the Rotten Tomato critics, 96%, which that amazed me. Pearl by the audience of Rotten Tomatoes. That's what they suggest. Scooby Doo on Zombie Island from IMDb crowd. And then Letterboxd, there was a tie between Pearl and Scooby Doo on the Letterboxd side of things for you all to watch. Definitely the best of the best. And then the worst, it's obvious. It's Jeepers Creepers 4. Dominated all the numbers, so absolutely throw it into the trash. Absolutely, please do. And then, I'll get a card for the next episode in October, but kind of like the trend we accidentally started the last episode of like the movies you recommend. So is there like 2 or 3 movies you recommend for everybody to watch as we talked about today?
Pearl, Mandy, Sissy, Elvira. Elvira.
Yeah. Pearl, Mandy, Sissy, Elvira. I'm Pearl. Definitely I'll say Elvira or Destiny will kill me. And then definitely Scooby Doo on Zombie Island for the anime side of things as well. Those are my 3 recommendations. Let's see here. And of course, shout out to Pieces and Mandy, 2 of my favorite flicks. Fuck Jeepers Creepers. You damn right, fuck Jeepers Creepers. And she's going to make you pay $50. Yeah, so we need to go ahead and wrap it up because I don't have that much money. So, Destiny, anything else before I go to sleep and someone has to wake me up until September ends?
No.
Okay, I ruined it with that pun. So we'll go ahead and lock out everybody. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Again, we got a big special for October, so stay up to date on Good Will Hunting socials for when we drop the contest. And I will post the official link in October as well. So we could go ahead and start making some noise because we want that to be our biggest show of the year for Back from the Dead. So thank you guys so much. We are out of here and we will see you all in October.